That's the spot.
We'll get there.
He'll learn.
I don't even have headphones on, and we know we missed it.
That was it.
All right, Pot of Gold, welcome back in the brand new studio. Still no camera set up. Don't worry. One day we'll get there. I'm really disappointed because I thought Grant was going to keep the toothpick in the entire time, and we were going to riff off that for the first 20 minutes.
He is producing,
but unfortunately, he had to get to work, so he took the toothpick out. Now it's back in.
He's back in with it. No, we got a good setup in here. Grant's been very excited to get back in the studio and set up the gear. So we have a good setup. Taking over the office. It's good once a week. We're happy to be back.
Vibes are through the roof.
Couldn't be higher right now. We were talking about the amount of hype right now for everybody. Everybody's getting a little piece of the hype pie, including Clemson.
Too much.
As of this week, I think I have read already today, Tuesday, enough articles about Cade Klubnik and this defensive line being full of first-round draft picks. National champion contender. A lot of hype for Clemson right now coming into it, almost as much as Lenore Sellers.
It drives me fucking crazy because we talked about this a few minutes ago before the pod started, and it's like I feel like everyone was talking about is Dabo going to be fired in 10 months, and now all of a sudden it's like, man, there's no better team in the country than what's going on in Clemson right now, and it's just I don't know. I'm in this part where like I feel like Clemson's going to be good, but I feel like we're just so far overboard on the love for Clemson that I'm just seeing every day that I'm out on it.
Clemson's going to be arguably the toughest opponent that we've opened with since BK's been here, right? But
that's sad
and we agree. We all agree.
No, that's fair.
But I would say going into this season, you have to say that this BK team has the most pressure on them to perform and to make the playoffs. And it's the expectation. Not to say that this is the best team he's had, because I
think it is, though.
I think on paper it is. It's yet to be seen, right? That's what I'm saying. Like, you could write down that, like, this could be BK's best team. But he did have a Heisman Trophy winner. This is the most
complete roster Brian Kelly's had.
Right.
Now, whether there's that many NFL players as neighbors and it's all that stuff, like maybe not, possibly, I don't know. But I think top to bottom, this is the most complete roster we've had since 2019.
And the only thing we hear about with this opener is Clemson by a landslide, and Nussmeier is arguably the best quarterback in the league. I don't think those go hand in hand for anybody except for LSU. Like, if you had any other team going into Clemson,
Penn State walking into Clemson, like Drew Aller's a seasoned guy.
It's about how it's going to be. It's going to be a battle, and Penn State could pull it out because Drew Aller. But we talk about LSU with Nussmeier. It's like, yeah, Nussmeier's great, but they blow it against, in openers. No, and they don't have a defense and all that good stuff.
It's a statement on the program, not the team.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a talent issue right now.
And I don't know. I almost feel like we're kind of in the same boat with Clemson. Like, yeah, I know they're saying Clemson has all these first-round guys and everything, but it's like, I don't know. I feel like if this was a different team not named Clemson, if this was South Carolina, be like, oh, I think South Carolina's going to be good this year. They got some players. I feel like we're getting –
I don't want to nitpick that example, but South Carolina's got some elite DNs, first-rounders. But your point stands with
the
Tennessee.
Program. We're talking about as a program, not a specific 1 year. But, yeah, sure, anybody. And it's just – I don't know. Like I said, man, I just feel like – not that long ago, we were just everyone in the media was talking about Clemson lost or Dabo's lost his fastball. Can he keep up in this new NIL era? to all of a sudden them having a mediocre season, getting beat in the playoffs against Texas, right?
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden it's like Clemson's back, baby. Alabama, Clemson, the trilogy, the part 2. And I'm just kind of out on it.
And listen, the theme of just kind of like being tossed into the dance, Texas is just like a no-brainer. Like, if you don't have them in your national championship, you don't watch college football. It's automatic right now.
It's like, guys, I've been watching Texas for 20 years. Has there been some cool blips? Yes.
Right.
Has it mostly been pretty average? Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the problem with looking at college football as a whole right now going into this season and kind of like putting together a top 10 or even a top 5, it's very difficult to not just be like, well, this is how last year ended.
Yeah.
Like, there's not a lot of change in that from the conversation piece outside of Bama is just not an automatic shoe-in.
Okay. God, does that feel good?
It does feel good, but they're still like, yeah, but they're number 6.
Well, and just, I mean, it's
like
been
they're going to be there.
It's been
That's
like
fine.
this forever, but you're ranking programs in the in the preseason. So it's like, I'm not going to get too hung up on it, but I just, again, I think Clemson's going to be in the playoffs. I think Clemson's got some good players. I like Klubnik. I don't think he's like a top Clemson quarterback. It's like, it just feels like it's too much.
I think the days where Clemson was the dominant team, hell, back in 2019.
Maybe every team, though.
Well, let's just say in 2019 as an example, right? The last time they went to the national championship, obviously we had our spectacular run. They weren't going to beat us. But
Trevor Lawrence never lost on a Saturday.
Lawrence, you had, the other guys before him that were pretty good. I think there was 2 in a row, and then obviously Lawrence. But the talent was really like a gap with the rest of their competition.
Yeah, 100%.
Like in the ACC, they were very dominant, but they had like an abundance of 5 stars for a specific period of time.
They stockpiled an SEC-like roster in a spot where there was not SEC caliber players across the conference.
Right.
100%.
Right. And so they were able to get some breaks and get into those big games. And obviously they're very well coached. I mean, I'm not saying Dabo sucks at everything he does because he put together a decent coaching staff.
Yes.
Like, he developed a good program. The longevity of that, the name is carrying this weight right now into this season. Yes, they made the playoffs. That's awesome. But they just dipped into the portal. Like, they're rattled. They don't want to be doing certain things. And
there was that window
fresh.
where you're like, Clemson's in the national championship this year.
Yeah, Clemson and Bama.
I mean, I get
that's who it was.
The playoff changes things, and like being in the ACC and being a good team, Clemson, it's going to be hard for Clemson not to make the playoffs. Whereas LSU, you kind of have to win a bunch of bigger games and go on the road in spots. But yeah, I don't know. It's hard for me. I think it's just really a tough ask to ask LSU to like go into that environment on a Saturday night. Week 1 with a lot of new starters.
Well, that's where we're at, right? I think, and that's probably the theme of this podcast and this episode conversation is just kind of about college football as a whole right now, looking at the teams, but the expectations for week 1.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's crazy as a fan to admit that you're cautiously optimistic for the season, but especially week 1, you're more cautious than optimistic. And that's okay. You're not a bad fan for that. Like, and I think that's got some people, talking at times, just like, oh, we have to be like, of course we're going to beat Clemson. You're not a good fan. It's like, guys, no, it's just objectively, if you follow the trends, it's tough to pull it off for whatever reason.
Take LSU out of it.
But it's the environment.
Let's say Texas is going into Clemson. I wouldn't be lining up to bet Texas +3.
Right. And I think that's the thing. It's not like me thinking this right now has nothing to do with not believing that Baker's going to have this defense the best it's been since 19. This is not me thinking that Caden Durham's not going to fix the running game. And Nuss is going to have a lights out year and be in New York for the Heisman ceremony. This is more about a night game at their place to open the season. Game 1, coming off of a playoff berth. Dabo's back, all the hype. Momentum means something in college football, and they're going to be on the better side of momentum swings and crowd noise, all that good stuff. It's going to be a battle, and it would be a battle for anybody, to your point.
To win these type of games, maybe this is an old school thought and not the truth anymore, but in my opinion, to win these games, you have to dominate the line of scrimmage. And it's really hard for me to convince myself with no real data, for lack of a better word, that LSU's offensive line is going to be able to go in, control that loud environment, and go up against some of the better defensive linemen they're going to play all year. And just be like super confident that Nussmeier's going to have all day and these running lanes are going to be open. I think we're going to be battling. I think it's going to take a little bit to get started. Nuss is going to save us at times. Nuss might still have a terrible pick in them in a terrible spot. But I think we're just going to be fighting and clawing in this game the entire time to try to like keep up.
Yeah. So you mentioned something. All the talk right now is about, but LSU's O-line, and I 100% agree. I think if you had to pick out a question mark, I mean, we can't even name the starting five right now.
You're not a good fan then, Mike.
What
is this podcast even doing if you can't name five?
You can guess that Tyree Adams and Weston Davis are going to be the tackles. You can guess that Braylon Moore is going to take over at center, and the Thompson kid from Northwestern's at guard, and then you might shift out Chester. Who knows? There's a lot of options.
What does NCAA football have?
I don't know. I haven't checked that.
I was just thinking you've been rather quiet over there.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say anything. I was going to wait. You looked like you were entertained by that last little speech.
For the first time in a while, I was like, man, I wish Grant would pipe in here. I think that's the first time I've ever thought
There's no data polls. Like we're naming a lot of stuff.
I don't know if you're producing your ass off over there or what's going on, if there's breaking news.
But I'm just letting y'all rip.
I love it.
But what I was going to say was, you look at Clemson's O-line. We don't ever hear about that.
I completely agree.
Everybody is just assuming that Clemson's O-line is automatically going to get the best of Dominic McKinley, Gabriel Relaford, Jack Pyburn, Patrick Payton, like those guys.
Is Guillory's back week
What's
one?
the other kid from was it Ruston?
Ahmad Bro.
Yeah, that's true. A guy who everyone fell in love with at the end of the season. I feel like I haven't heard anything about him.
Pulled a kid from South Florida, USF, I believe.
No, I agree. It's battle scars from us having to watch week 100%. One for the last half decade.
We have, but we have never in the past few years, we couldn't honestly sit back and say, yeah, but our defense is going to keep us in this one.
I agree.
Right. And I feel like this year, the expectation, especially with the portal additions in the secondary, the development on the defensive line and at defensive end, and then the returning of Whit Weeks and Harold Perkins, you expect this defense to take a large step forward. If not, it's blown. This whole era is no defense. That's the label. But this could be the season it happens. Now, if that does happen, these predictions and conversations drastically change.
Yeah.
Because if you're in this fight, if Klubnik is running for his life all night, we're having a different conversation. So I don't know. What are you doing?
Was that an ad or was our restream gone down?
You left it there way too long.
Yeah, you wanted us to see that.
I was just reading it. I didn't know what happened.
Okay. Are you screen sharing or is it just the pot of gold?
No,
it's okay. I can't. Yeah. Too many computers, too much going on in here. All that to be said, I've spent the last 2 weeks just watching all the old games. The Texas A&M game I had to turn off at halftime, but most of them are on YouTube, and I've watched a bunch of them. The play calling is more suspect than I even remembered, and it's kind of worrying me. I love myself a good offensive coordinator, and I buy into every OC of all time. And I love Sloan. It's suspect, man. The amount of times that we really need a drive and we do nothing, and then we throw an incomplete bomb and hand it off to Josh Williams for 1.5 yards, and then Nussmeier's running for his life on 3rd and 9. It's everywhere.
I didn't expect Sloan to be back this season, especially after Bryce Underwood bounced. I did not think that was going to happen. And I know that's crazy. He only had 1 year.
I think he deserves a year with the second year with Nuss, and Nuss to have
the development
his guy.
of Nuss and Nuss having his dude. Right. This is not a place for coaches to cut their teeth.
100%.
And I feel like we're using this as like a little training ground to kind of catapult the career of a really good guy.
Was it Jake Peets? No.
I think we're more talented than that, and our philosophy is better, right? Like we have an identity of what we want to be, but we couldn't establish a running game. Yeah. And there was and listen, I'm not saying that that's all the fault of Brad Davis and the offensive line. As an offensive coordinator, you need to be creative. If your O-line's not getting it done, we need to think outside the box and do something different. We never changed. We never adapted. Yeah. We did go out and get Adkins from Florida State, who is our run game coordinator.
Love it.
Right. Obviously, we're building more of a recruiting identity in our coaching staff. We got Kevin Bolden yesterday, pulled in from Ole Miss. Austin Thomas is building his own little operation, which is fine. But guys like Adkins, who typically would kind of be in that realm, they have a more on the field job right now to assist and revamping a very vital piece of this offense that was completely absent last year. So I think the additional eyes, the additional focus, you have to yield results.
On top of that, I also think Brian Kelly's letting Baker and Raymond and everybody do their thing on the defense. Yeah. And he's going to be in the middle of a lot of the offensive things, which I know normally we wouldn't want, but it's like at this point, I kind of want it.
Yeah, I want the all eyes on the offense because I don't want Kelly worried about it. When Kelly starts messing with the defense,
we're not going
that's
anywhere.
It. Yeah. Like it's done. Wrap it up. I think Baker's going to have those guys ready.
Sloan's kind of chicken shit as a play caller.
Sloan has to fix his red zone issues.
Yeah.
And it's so weird sitting back talking about a play caller, in the red zone has to fix his issues. It is it's weird, man. Like they were never in sync.
Yep.
They were never.
But when it's right, it looks so good.
Right. When it's right, it's almost unstoppable. It's one of those like, can we just get in this type of rhythm from the first quarter? Why are we just doing this now? There was no rhythm. There was false starts. There was miscommunication. There was like the blocking. It couldn't have all been communication on the O-line. There had to be some cadence issues with the quarterback. All of that is systemic from the top down. You have to have a coordinator that can settle that, speak to the players, have them understand your language. I don't know if Sloan was able to do that. I know Sloan was not able to do that last season. Kelly had to step in with a play calling sheet and he had to answer questions to the media about offensive identity and play calling. He's got a lot to prove this year. You picked up a couple extra weapons. You've got additional focus on the offensive line now with multiple coaches and a run game coordinator, all that good stuff. This is it. You got to show out. Yep. And I think the second year development, no matter how shitty a defense has been, no matter how bad the play calling's been, the development of quarterbacks at LSU as of late have shown a massive step from year 1 to year 2 as a starter. If Garrett Nussmeier takes a massive step,
we're
going to be in every game.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, I think whatever list you want to look at, there's no one I would rather on my team as quarterback for this season than Nussmeier. You can have Aller, you can have Klubnik, you can have Manning, Sellers, Lagway.
Who's Oklahoma?
Mateer. You can have them all. Like
Arizona State.
I legitimately.
What's his name, Grant? Where you at, man?
Scattaboo.
What's going on with you today?
I don't know, man. There is something wrong.
Damned if you
today.
Do.
You came in with so much sass.
Yeah,
with a toothpick in your mouth for 30 minutes.
Didn't even knock on the door.
You just barged in, which is fair.
I did.
Which very much appreciate.
Your truck wasn't here.
Yeah,
and I knew the dog would bark.
Yeah.
No, I'm just telling you, came in with a lot of sass with your little toothpick hanging, like little dinner went a little long tonight.
Yeah.
And now you're just quiet as a mouse over there.
I'm just absorbing it. I just have not. I'm still hungover from the baseball, and so I haven't dug my toes in.
You're enjoying the pod.
Listen,
and I haven't dug my toes into the football and gotten all hyped just yet.
That's
so I'm actually trying to listen to the two of you talk about it to get hyped going into this season.
It's fair. I agree. I'm telling you, you walked in with sass today. I thought we were getting a special grant.
I'm a little
episode.
tired.
It's fair.
Yeah, that's fine. You
We'll
go,
cut it
dude,
off.
you've been running.
We'll cut
Been
it off
running.
early. Grant. Get you home.
No, we're good.
You got a long way home.
No, we're good. We're good.
All right. Well,
Um,
yeah. So
That's
But
it.
yeah, I mean, I have the most faith in Nussmeier. I mean, I have more than Jaden Daniels going into year 2. We had no idea what that was. Probably more. I have more confidence than Burrow going into year 2 because it's like Burrow year 1 was like, oh, we got a guy, but
definitely more confidence
probably
than
a
Max Johnson. year
5th
two.
round draft pick. So I don't know. I would be.
Belichick loves Max
I
Johnson.
love the least surprising
Dude.
thing ever. We get them on Monday night.
Did y'all see they had to release the emails and transcript, all kind of different communications about their boosters and how pissed they are about with Belichick and that whole situation?
What situation?
Jordan.
What's her name?
But what is
Jordan.
the situation? That
Just
he's
how she's
dating
now
someone
the
pretty?
face of how she's dictating she's at practices, she's doing this, she's calling the
is
shots.
she really calling plays?
Not calling plays. I'm just saying, like, the fact that it's like this circus act is what the way
She's
they
the
worded it.
Angel Reese of college.
Like,
football.
in what other program do you see the girlfriend of the coach, the face of the program?
That's what
Kelly
happened.
Orgeron.
At that,
Kelly
yeah,
Orgeron.
yeah,
I mean,
not on this
hot
level.
topic. Listen, I understand what it says, but like, have we sat back to think about that? Like, Bill doesn't even know what's happening here, and he's just coaching football, and he's dating some little hottie, and everyone's just up in arms over it because the age gap.
No, I think she's
So she's an on the
heavily
field
involved.
person,
During spring practices, she was out there like
Like
doing
what?
stuff.
like getting him water
No, like having meetings and things.
with who?
Like she's like the personnel director. Like she named herself like some title.
Really?
I mean, how
Yeah, it
pissed-
was a
how-
She's like the
circus.
Austin Thomas of
Like she
UNC.
named herself like this whole liaisons person.
how pissed would you be if you were like one of the dudes at UNC donating millions of dollars?
Yeah. I
And you thought
understand.
you were going to be having dinner with Belichick, and instead you're on a FaceTime with Jordan. Imagine how pissed you'd be.
Yeah.
I'm not saying what I view. I'm talking about internally.
Listen,
these reports came out
Listen,
today.
these were details that were unbeknownst to me. So
But who
Let's
could have
see.
predicted hiring the 70
It's right here, actually. I forgot. Here's the link. UNC forced to release emails from donors, alum, and faculty alum.
like you went
calling-
from being a dynasty in the league where no one's gonna like even open your office door to the second you get to campus, it's like, dude, you can't just do whatever you want.
It's honestly crazy that he was
What it-
like, I'm going to coach college football.
this is from a donor.
Was
What
this
a
all
toll-
just to get some tail? Like, I'm just gonna roam the UNC campus.
I don't think so. I don't know. They probably were just like, yeah, man, you can just hang out and kind of just do what you want. We just did the same thing with Mac Brown. If you can keep that going, we'll be great.
Yeah. North Carolina could be a very badass school.
Yeah.
Really cool football program.
They have the uniforms for it.
Uniforms, the money, the location, all of it. If Clemson can do it, UNC can do it.
Yeah, I agree.
But
Now is Bill the guy to
No.
do it? No.
no, I didn't know about this. I knew the female was like hot topic because
You saw her video? Is that what you said?
No, I just think that this is a little overblown.
There he is. He's
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
We bullied him into being back.
Well, no, the ad got me earlier. It came out.
No, look, this says this is from a donor. What a total embarrassment to UNC. I am withdrawing all my donations and future donations
So
because of her circus act.
her circus act.
We'll have to talk about it off pod, but there's more details. I don't have time. My computer's running slow.
Oh, you don't remember them?
We got nothing but time.
Not
Greg.
a snark comment at
No,
all.
when
I'm just
I know you're
let's
tired.
move on. I didn't know why you wanted to move on. It's because you didn't.
I'm just
have
saying,
it
like,
in
I
your
don't have all the
dome.
details
Got it.
of she did this, she did this, she did this. I just know that the spring was a circus.
You did the
And then
same
this
thing
just
we
came
all
out
do.
today.
You read the tweet and you were like, "That's good. Maybe I'll read that later."
Someone will
and you
read
got
this.
here.
Well, y'all mentioned Belichick, and so I had
Michael
to throw this
pressed
out
you,
there.
and you were like, "I didn't read the article.
That's
I just
fine.
saw they were displeased."
I get it,
I see you, and I respect.
and I understand as a donor, if the coach that I just bought
For a lot of money.
for a lot of money that won multiple Super Bowls came to my house,
Are they paying Mac Brown? Like,
probably. winning Super Bowls comes to my house, and you bring in a recent grad that you're dating now, and she's got a new title of like player operations or something.
Here's how we see you at the program.
You're getting paid.
I wouldn't be excited.
I wouldn't be happy about it. I would love
Not
to
for
know.
a football program. If this was happening at a basketball, something
How
smaller.
much recruiting is Bill doing?
You know,
Bill doesn't recruit.
if Bill
No
showed
way.
up and did not have her on his arm when he showed up, this is a different ball.
Although I feel like Bill has to recruit. Can you imagine if like he's never met these kids, doesn't evaluate them, and he's just trusting
This could be
people
a
to be like,
train
this is he's a 4-star, number 98 on Rivals.
I
Oh,
think
sign him up.
I do. Maybe
like he's gotta
I'm
do some
crazy,
evals.
but I think Bill's such a football guy that he does grind the film.
Yeah, I think
of
he does
these
some
dudes.
evals.
I just don't think he's like texting.
But I also think he's going to do the film and be like, I want this guy. Well, yeah, man. So does everybody.
So does Georgia,
Like,
and yeah.
Yeah.
Are
No,
they going to be?
That's Bryce Underwood.
Or they're
He's
just going to
pretty
be a
good.
bunch of 5'6" like white skill guys who just like are
No, because I don't think he's in the business of development.
a bunch
right
of
now.
Trey. What was the kid's name? Trey.
Who?
Holly?
No, the white
Morgan.
kid for LSU that we thought was gonna. He was from Zachary.
Oh, Zachary.
Was he not Zachary?
You talking about the?
We thought he was gonna be awesome.
the
He
Barb-
came in with
the
Malachi
Barb wide
Dupree,
receiver?
Barb. Yes.
Oh, Trey Quinn.
Trey
Trey
Quinn.
Quinn.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there
he
we
set
go.
the
You got
Louisiana
Trey
record.
correct. I didn't know who that was. Yeah, I remember the guy. I remember the state championship. I couldn't remember his name.
Yeah, Trey Quinn. We all thought he was gonna be a dog.
Yeah, he was Jack Besh before Jack Besh.
Yeah, undersized.
They have a winnable schedule. I thought I heard something.
I thought I heard a scream.
There was a commotion, a ruckus.
Is it a man?
No, there's a laugh.
They have a very winnable record, like UNC.
Yeah.
For sure. But it's just like they're also every one of these teams that has a similar thing with UNC on their schedule is saying this is a very winnable schedule. Like they're right in the middle of that mix.
Yeah.
Whereas I agree it looks favorable, but they can also lose to Syracuse, NC State, Wake
They can
Forest,
lose
you know.
TCU. Yeah, they can lose all these.
So like it's
So
true.
let's talk about some of the other. All right, so we kind of sprinkled some discussion about opening weekend, LSU versus Clemson. We have a lot more summer to start thinking about this game. As of today, yes, neither of us would pick LSU to win this game. But there's more substance to be consumed. There's more content to be viewed.
DJ, a couple more Pickle,
A couple more JD Pickle.
Yeah, a couple more of those, and I might
assessments.
be in.
A couple more pictures of Don McKinley from further back to closer. I think we're going to be feeling good. A couple more mock drafts with Patrick Payton in the first round.
Ooh.
Yeah, a couple more Harold Perkins in the correct position
We're
conversations.
not giving Peoples enough
in the
enough
correct
love
position.
here.
What position would that be, Mike?
I'm not there. A couple in the safety position, in the star position.
Oh, his football position.
A couple discussions about Delane, Mansour Delane, to be correct, as a potential top draft pick.
That's 100% corner name.
I mean,
Elite.
what if
corner
DJ
name.
Pickett becomes an elite 5-star corner that we get to walk in and plug and play? If that happens and we think that like we're that good, then maybe before week 1 we're gonna have some other tales to be had. But for right now, let's talk about some other teams that are getting the hype train thrown on them right now. Texas is getting hyped. Penn State is being picked as from a lot of people as your national champ.
I really don't want to derail the conversation, but I almost want to like dip first into the teams not getting the national love, and it's
Alabama, Georgia.
Georgia's right there too, but it's like
I mean, Ty
they're
Simpson
getting-
and Gunnar Stockton. I don't know what's happening there.
it was just
We
kind
don't
of
know
like,
about their QBs.
it took me aback to see that they were 13-point favorites against Florida State. I was like, man, I
Mhm.
feel like we've already kind of dipped into the Alabama's not what they used to be boat,
Well, they're not, and
which is fair. It's just
Yeah.
it happened quicker than I anticipated. If they were ranked 6th preseason this year, would you have like scrolled that hard through that? You'd been like, yeah, Bama 6,
right.
Clemson this, LSU 8,
Yeah, no, I agree.
right there with Notre Dame.
it's
That
kinda-
makes sense.
It's kind of par for the course, but like you still have people being like, that's that's going to be your SEC championship. You know, Bama and Texas.
Which maybe they will be. Maybe.
Maybe.
But it's not a guarantee anymore.
No, it's not a shoe-in.
It happened quick.
And you've got teams kind of rising up. And then same with Georgia. It's like, yeah, they're littered with elite talent. But is Gunnar Stockton going to be the guy? I don't know who this kid is.
Yeah.
I've seen him play maybe a couple clips. I don't know. I could be totally wrong. This could be elite.
It's just, I don't know. It's interesting. We're sinking into like a new era of college football.
St.
Where last
Julian.
year everybody lost and no dominant teams.
Right.
It's like that just may be the norm now. That these teams like Georgia will obviously have their runs, but it's not like
but a team like LSU could have their run.
I think it's going to be more spread out. Like Ohio State got
crazy.
one with an okay team. Ohio State's probably going to catch another one here at some point in a few years, but. You know, Texas may grab one. This team may snag. Clemson may get another one. LSU
is Oregon in the boat of winning a title.
The days of just being like, okay, Alabama, Clemson are in the 4. I wonder who the other ones are going to be. It just, I mean, granted, they may still be in the 12 or the 16, but it's different.
But more often than not, you're going to have some diversity and some variety.
I think it's going to continue to spread out, but like you're just like the NIL is starting to catch up. You've had almost 4 years now of NIL, which is still changing every day with the new what's it called?
Revenue sharing.
Rev share.
So that's a whole nother like this season is like the last year without the revenue sharing. So, you know, if you've been following, a lot of these teams are now dumping way more cash from their collectives in these recruits this year because they won't be able to use it, you know, or they're using it a certain way. So like Bama just got, I mean, the fact they're not in the national headlines for the rankings, they've been pulling off all these 5 stars, and that white kid that we thought, I was like, oh, they're going downhill. And then after that, they've pulled in like 4 straight 5-star players.
Really? 4 straight?
Yeah, like last week.
Well,
blowing up the 0-3.
Here's the other thing, though, is you're also seeing these random schools that have.
Yeah, Sacramento State just got a high-end.
Texas Tech is killing it right now. And this dumbass coach, like, we will play LSU.
Like, dude, we don't even think about you.
Yeah, like, right. But at the same time, it's like that's what a easy thing to say after we've lost 5 openers in a row. Like, we're not signing up for any bullshit games anymore. We're taking it easy after this whole onslaught of scheduling openers and, you know, home and away series. Like, no, we're not playing that game anymore.
I know.
Cruise through your non.
You have a tough enough conference schedule. There's no reason to get mixy as much as I like it. And shit, I wish we were the team that wins some of these because it is a big balls thing to say, yeah, we'll fucking go to Clemson. We'll play Florida State. You at USC, we'll play you in Vegas. We don't give a shit.
Right.
If you go in and you do what, you know, quote, Alabama used to do to Virginia Tech and the North Carolina, like if you go in and dominate those games, that is like respect across the entire country. Whereas now it's like, oh, I mean, yeah, at least you schedule them, but you never win them. I don't know. Part of me loves that we do it. And like the other part is like, no, we got to be done with
Notre Dame's starting to pull some recruits. They're dumping into that collective, but Oregon is another one that has really benefited from it. And I like Dan Lanning a lot. I think that's obviously a program that they have ascended to conversation of national championship expectations.
I want them to get one. I want Lanning to stay.
And I think they've sustained this hype for a few years now, like 2 seasons. But if he can do it again in a 3rd season, I feel like, and by again, making a deep run in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I think if they can continue to win playoff games every year, after next year, I think Dan Lanning and that team will eventually pull off a national championship because they're just going to keep getting those recruits. They're going to keep being coached well by him and that crew. And they're obviously going to get that exposure as that program. So I'm excited for college football.
I am too. It's different. It's not the college football we grew up in. We might be putting fucking Gordon McKerning's face on the jerseys with a big Canes logo on the ass cheek. It's not.
We have to think that through, though. We can't just be like, yeah, you put a patch on the jersey.
Like, I think it'll be one.
It's got to be.
Yeah. I honestly, I assume it's just going to be a Canes patch over one of the shoulders or something, and in a few years, everyone's going to be doing it, and you're not even going to notice it. But it's like, I hate it. Despise it.
I wish there was like a athletic uniform version of a logo. You know, it's like if we're going to start doing this for all sports, like, does it have to be the main Canes logo where it says chicken fingers on our jersey, or can it be like a really cool looking C, you know, like representing Canes?
Yeah.
And people get used to that as like a symbol of advertising on sportswear. I don't know.
I don't think that's ever going to happen, but I'm with you. I mean,
well, just like the outfield in baseball.
Yeah.
Right. Like they made improvements by making it all one uniform color, and it's more aesthetically pleasing, even though it's garbage that we have to look at McDonald's signs as Jake Brown, you know, dives for a nice catch.
Yeah, it's fair.
One step back in recruiting. I don't know if you saw this. Booby Feaster committed to USC.
That one hurt.
And we lost him.
I wanted that name.
The receiver.
Yeah, where was he from?
Texas,
I thought he was from Texas.
Mississippi or Texas,
something like that.
Somewhere's close
neighboring
enough.
state,
close enough.
Not
USC is another one that's dipping into the money game,
and so they're number one right now in the 26 rankings here.
And last year they pulled off old boy from St. Aug.
Right, and so that takes me to my next point.
It's a make or break year for
Lincoln.
They
were like, so what made you? They were like, Feaster, like, what made you pick USC? Blah blah. He's like,
Lincoln Riley.
He said, love Lincoln Riley. He calls me almost every day. It's like, yeah, what coach isn't recruiting you? And then he said, yeah, my boy Jakeem Stewart is over there, and he told me that this is the place to be. And he's like, you know, he's kind of where I'm from, like, you know, blah blah blah.
You're gonna be in the transfer portal.
And yet, like, it's got to be a large check that they wrote that kid.
Well, Jakeem Stewart hasn't even like
he got $2 million and hasn't done anything.
I mean, like,
of course, it's practiced. The place to be. This place is sick.
But like, so I mean, all these recruiting rankings, I'm not following them in the fact of like, you know, these kids are going to flip flop, but now the flip flop is going to become even more intense with.
I'm surprised where USC's at. I thought Lincoln was going to be. It's just surprising.
A lot of money, dude.
Yeah, but Lincoln's got to perform. They're paying him a lot of money.
Yeah.
And they need to make the playoffs for him to keep his job.
You think they'd fire? I don't think they'd fire.
You think that's real? You think that's a true statement?
No,
take?
I don't. I think it's kind of in a similar-ish place as Brian Kelly, where it's like your seat is about to, like, this is the year where the seat actually gets hot. And if you don't perform this year, next year's your last ride. I just don't think that. I don't know who. I don't know. I guess it's just who knows. Maybe they'd bring Lane Kiffin back.
Yeah, they would try that, and he would go for a round 2 redemption tour at USC.
That would be great.
That'd be awesome.
That would be. I would 180 back into the biggest Lane fan of all time.
Lane is disappearing into the abyss for this season, right?
It is weird.
A year off?
I don't like that. I don't like that we're going on the road, Ole Miss. He's been a little quiet. He's been peeping up a little with the whole Hugh Freeze plays too much golf.
Yeah, but he only peeps up to just like rub elbows with the other coaches.
Yeah, we got media days coming up in like a week and a half or so.
It's not really about like scheme or football.
I don't know.
It's about fun and TikTok.
I find it very hard for me. It's very hard for me to believe that Lane Kiffin is just going to continue to be the Ole Miss coach for the next 2-3 years. So
he loves it there.
No, he doesn't.
He said he does.
No, he doesn't.
That was on what's his name?
You pay me that much money, I'd be
Theo
happy
Vaughn's
as shit in
podcast.
Oxford, Mississippi as well, being the king of that little crazy town.
I mean,
Go
what
listen
are you
to
gonna
him
do?
on-
Go on a podcast where all the people you're recruiting
Do you
on
like
and be
it
like,
here?
this place is kind of fine. I mean, it's just really
it's like if you have to give an opinion on it.
Look at how long he stayed there. We would have thought if we would have bet the day he took Ole Miss's job, we wouldn't say he's still.
We're not
there.
saying it's not a good job.
No, I'm just saying that the fact that he doesn't like it.
I thought he would have taken the Florida job. That's where I legitimately thought was going to happen. Is he would have gone to Florida, probably turned Florida back into a pretty damn good team in the East, even though I don't know that we even do that anymore.
We don't do
What
that.
I was saying is, do you think when he took
we do that?
When he took the Ole Miss job that day, would you have thought he would still be the head coach of Ole Miss?
No.
Right.
How long has he been there?
At least 4. I think it's his 5th or 6th year.
So, I mean, I think 4 years is fair when you have to go to FIU or FAU, whichever one he went to, Florida Atlantic. When you have to go there and prove it and then you get the job, like 4 years is fair.
Yeah,
more than fair. He's done a great job. I would say.
I just
for
don't.
Ole
I mean,
Miss. This is his.
no, but I mean,
He's been there 6 years.
but
yeah.
but I don't think
This will be his 7th.
if he has the opportunity to go back to USC as the head coach,
That
Yeah, he
might
might
be
do-
that might be a bridge burned too far.
it may be.
To be fair.
What I'm saying is, I would have never expected him to be at Ole Miss for 7 years consecutively.
Honestly,
I didn't either.
he might quiet. He might be lingering around till DeBoer gets fired.
I wonder if Lane would dip his toes back in the NFL.
I think in general, most of these coaches would go and say like, yeah, I would rather stop doing all this recruiting bullshit and have a vacation and be able to like actually be, you're still a psycho football guy, but it's just not every hour like it is college. I could see
But
that.
also, I don't know if he's a good enough coach to like start fresh in the NFL.
I agree. I agree.
Like, you got to have some really.
I would
long
say I would be
hours.
surprised.
Lane.
Yeah.
I would say I'd
Like
be
you got to be a
surprised.
fucking grinder in the NFL as a head coach when you're a young guy and you don't have like tenure. Like once you're in, you're in. But
Who's
like you got to make it for a period.
Who's the last like college coach that like went to the NFL and was like it wasn't like an NFL?
Pete Carroll?
Yeah, that has to be the
Yeah.
answer. I agree. It doesn't happen as much as you would think, but no, I think I would be surprised if Lane Kiffin was an NFL coach. I think he's going to try to take one more Alabama type job, Georgia type job, like a LSU.
He'd be a hot name for
UNC.
There's no doubt in my mind that Lane would take the LSU job if
Yeah.
Brian Kelly got fired in a year and a half.
So that's a good conversation. What are the only SEC schools that you could see Lane taking? Because I could see him not going back to Tennessee.
Agree.
Mm-hmm.
He's not obviously taking a step down.
He's not taking a step
any
down.
of
I'm
the-
talking like the equals.
I still think he would go to Florida. Florida is a fucking monster.
Mhm.
If you with the recruiting area you have, I don't care if Miami's good. I don't care if Florida State's good. You have a brewing monster in that.
What happened with
area.
that again? I guess he just wasn't fired, right?
Billy
Napier was supposed
Billy
to be
saved
let go.
his life by beating us.
Which huge respect to Billy.
Yeah, I was gonna say like that. Something happened where like I thought Lane was going last year, and obviously Billy turned it around.
I believe
pulled a rabbit.
I
out
could
of
be
it.
wrong. I believe when Napier took the job,
I'm not pushing Napier.
I think they like didn't want Lane.
Yeah. No, I remember that. There was a Lane issue there. But yeah, you're right. Because I remember thinking Lane's gone back then. But something happened.
You don't
where he
make that
wasn't.
mistake twice.
Yeah.
If you're Alabama or Florida and the guy you picked instead of going to the guy you kind of know,
Yeah, he'd leave.
then it's like, well, we're not doing this again. I know with a relative certainty what I'm going to get out of Lane.
Is it kind of crazy that like Hugh Freeze is just no discussions?
It's crazy. It's wild.
I thought we would be like, fuck.
It was that
Auburn's
thumbs
back.
up picture in the bed. I think that like was the end of it for him.
It probably was. Because I mean, honestly, since then, he's just been in the shadows.
Yeah.
Very much in the shadows.
Yeah. He went from
Is he going to be a redemption story? I don't see it.
not at Auburn. But then again, he's not going to get another job if it's like goes sour at Auburn.
I don't know.
Auburn's weird, man.
But like if he would have come to LSU for whatever reason, like something crazy happened and we went and got Hugh Freeze to fill in, I would expect our offense to be elite.
Yeah. I would expect us to at least have a quarterback that could run the offense.
Yeah. So it's interesting that like they've kind of sucked at quarterback the past couple seasons.
And he's been there 2 years, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So this year with Jackson Arnold coming in, can he fix Arnold? And can that be the surprise of the season? I want to look back at who were we talking about going into last year and how much changed? Like, was there any surprise teams? Because right now, who are we talking about the most? And who are those surprise teams that we're not really mentioning? That
I thought Missouri,
Always-
I know one that I got wrong. I thought Missouri
Missouri.
was going to be
correct. I
way
agree.
better.
They had Brady Cook, right?
Yeah, they had the Luther Burden dude. Yeah,
no, we
they-
said that Drinkowitz was on the hot seat last year.
But no, I think that was the year before. And he
I do
rebounded.
too, because then they
rebounded.
were good. Because
had, like,
I
a great
agree.
year.
I was at one point I thought Drinkowitz was done, but I
Yeah.
think that was 2 years ago.
Mhm.
And then I was like, I was wrong on Missouri. Let me double down the other way.
Yeah.
And I think it kind of backfired both times.
He blew
on
it.
me. I
Brady
believe
Cook and all them sucked. Luther
Yeah.
we can go
Burden.
check the tapes. I'm not. I will
That's what
take
it was.
responsibility if that's
Yeah.
true.
We've been doing this for 8 years.
But
It
I
was a
know
couple
even
seasons
when
ago.
NCAA came out, Mike can attest to this. I was playing against him with Missouri a
Missouri.
lot because I was
Missouri.
like, dude, I kind of like this offense. Their defense was good with Baker the year before.
Yeah.
So I think I was on too much on the train.
So right now the train is pumping.
And everyone was off the Clemson train.
Everyone's off. But right now the big pump is Penn State,
Yeah.
Notre Dame, and Texas.
Yep.
I think those are your top 3 like pumping outside of the SEC.
Which, if you could ask me to name the 3 teams from my entire time enjoying and watching college football of the teams that like got overhyped and never followed through, those would be the ones I lumped in. And granted, they had good seasons. I'm just talking in the national championship picture.
Mhm.
Been plenty of good Penn State teams, whatever. But it's like,
You're gonna catch some losses.
it's like when we were growing up and the EA Sports game came out, and you're like, Penn State's 8.
Yeah.
Like they're not, and
Right.
they ended up being a top 18 team, and you're like, oh, that was a decent season, won a
Right.
bowl game, good for them, but they weren't like dogs.
I've seen national championship predictions for Penn State this season, Clemson, and Texas. Those are the 3 that I've seen picked. Notre Dame, people think are going to run deep. Carson Beck at Miami is a decent
But-
conversation too.
What
Could
about-
they be some surprise?
I'm
team?
willing to hold until
I'm not buying Carson
Yeah,
Beck
I can't.
stock. I'm not saying that.
I wouldn't be
But there
betting
are
they're
people-
over. I'm not saying I'm not rooting for them. I'm all down for Miami to come
Yeah.
back and be a good program, be a good team. I hope Cristobal kind of gets it going.
Yeah,
there,
it'd be
just for
cool.
the fun of it. But like, I'm not rushing to the counter to take their over this season.
I'd rather Miami be dominant again than Texas.
I want them all. I want it to be like almost like it feels like brewing, where all of these blue blood programs are in it. I know. I couldn't,
No, that was
couldn't
great.
Get
It
that
was
out.
perfect.
Brew Brockers.
Where it could be anybody's run. Michigan just won one.
Yeah.
Now it's Ohio
it's really
State.
cool.
Now Miami, Texas, LSU.
Parity.
Like it's more fun than watching fucking Alabama, Clemson every year.
Yeah, it's unpredictable and it's really cool. My only thing with that is that means that kids are going everywhere.
Yeah.
Right. And they're not just getting sucked up by the dominant team
Yeah.
of that era. So
Which
like
again, I think bodes well for us.
it does, because it's like if you win one, don't expect to just automatically be getting everybody for the next 10 years.
And we just have a
It's-
huge leg up with the amount of talent Louisiana produces and the fact
that's
that
my only
nobody's in
caveat
there.
to this. I would be like, this is the perfect scenario, but you have to keep Louisiana players home.
100%.
If
And
that's
you
the
will
case-
lose one to Miami and Texas. Like you will, but like everyone's gonna have that. Like you're in a spot where you should be able to build a roster and go, and you can go pick a couple guys from Texas and Florida. Like
I want LSU to be in a position though. Like this is what I want out of the program. It's not, hey, you have to win this number of national championships or you need to make it to the semifinals. I want us to be competitive with the best of the league.
Yeah.
Right. So if Ohio State is running the show, we want to be competing for that same top quarterback.
Yeah.
Right. And if they're homegrown in Louisiana, it's a no-brainer that you're going to LSU because it's equal to Ohio State. It's equal to Alabama, to Georgia, to Oregon, to Texas, to Notre Dame. I think we are a season away from being in that conversation.
I agree.
Right now, we're still like leaning on the past, on history and tradition, and being like, hey, we're a respectable program because of look at our trophy case. But let's pull it off this season. Let's do something. Let's make it deep in the playoffs. Because if that's the case, this new version of college football will be pretty entertaining to be a part of.
Yeah.
If we're involved in it. If we're not, it's gonna be fucking miserable.
Yeah, I agree.
You're gonna see all these people winning national championships and be like, how the hell can we not?
You're
do
just
this?
Squidward watching Patrick and
Yeah.
SpongeBob have the best time ever.
It's like great. Notre Dame's back. Michigan's
yeah,
back.
why
Like,
not us?
What
I
happened
thought we
to
got
us?
Brian Kelly. I
Anyone
agree.
can win here.
And part of the homegrown thing too, it's like maybe an old person get off my lawn take, but it's like I want to go win with a bunch of Louisiana dudes.
Yeah.
I want dudes on our team that grew up dreaming about playing in Tiger Stadium. It's like
getting
great.
that back.
I want kids who are probably going to stay maybe an extra year when they wouldn't because they really want to. I want a bunch of Garrett Nussmeyers who are like, yeah, I'll ride the
It's
bench.
hard to find.
I'll not transfer to Alabama. I'll not do this because I really want to do it. When I was 12 years old in the backyard,
Saturday night down in Louisiana in the swamp.
It's
Let's
like,
go get it done.
I think you can build a team around that, not this mercenary for hire of just going global. Like I think we have a little bit of an advantage in that. Again, no one else can say they're like a big program in Louisiana.
No, we have everything going for us. We just need to.
It could be fun.
We need to fucking fix the red zone, Joe.
Yeah,
that's it. If we fix the red zone and Blake Baker fixes this defense, that's a lot.
Just stop 2nd and 10 runs.
We're going to be that program again.
And special teams,
which
I think should take a leap this year.
We hired like a guy for special teams from Grambling.
I don't want to get my hopes up, but I'm convincing.
Our return
highly
seems like it should
highly
be better.
sought after.
I'm convincing myself that Barry and Brown's gonna be a dog.
Yeah, Barry and Brown.
Looks like a dog.
Barry and Brown right now.
It feels.
I've already hyped him up. I've already seen it. Like in my head, watching his Kentucky highlights, I've already seen it in purple and gold and been like, "You do that on that field."
It's like a Keyshawn Booty. He's just like past everyone. And I agree.
The plays that he's making, though, it's like I was saying, if you do it, it's fine to do it at Kentucky with that crowd. But you do it at LSU, that's a lasting highlight that we're going to be talking about. And those are usually difference makers in big games.
If those receivers are getting their timing down right now, like we would all expect them to be, like
they're not.
Nuss,
they're not.
They're doing a kids camp.
That's what I've been bitching about. Is they're not working with Nuss.
Is Nuss too? What's Nuss doing these days?
Getting engaged.
Is Nuss out there? We didn't talk about that yet. Let's put that out.
Grant's just having a little burst of energy.
That's great. That's great. Distractions are done. He's locked in. He's
definitely not going to be
locked in. More like locked down. Can't go get any strange anymore.
None. It's football. It's football and dishes, and I think he's good with that. And that's what we want out of our quarterback.
Sounds like a bum.
To go back to Barry and Brown, I feel like maybe he's just a character, but I have a sneaky feeling LSU's like, this dude's going to be a dog because they keep like miking him up and doing these little Twitter videos on him. I don't see it for anyone else.
Yeah.
So maybe he's just like a very personable, like going to get you some funny stuff. Or maybe they're like, hey,
who was old boy that we got from Texas Tech that we slapped number 7 on before
Jonathan Giles. We still never figured that out.
There's no way. This dude played in the SEC.
They're not giving him 7. Are they? Do you think they're going to give him 7?
No. Perkins is 7.
Yeah, but we had two 7.
I don't think you can duplicate 7.
They're doing away
unless it's an O-lineman. It's like an honorary, like y'all can do it.
They're doing away with duplicate numbers, period.
Are they? That'd be awesome. Like I could know who we're talking about.
What if the NCAA made a new rule?
It's not because I don't like the way it looks. It's I can't.
You would have.
It's 2 rosters.
You would have second string receivers wearing like 42.
Yeah. That would be sick. That would be sick.
Yeah.
Like when Boone would come in,
shit, dude.
Boone would come in with like 82 or some shit, and you'd be like, yeah.
Yeah, you don't just transfer in and it's like, I'm a defensive end, I'm taking 3.
That's you know what? I thought the single numbers were cool, but now that you say that,
like the
fuck
first,
that. Like D-line wears 93, 40.
Yes.
Like wide receivers need to be 84
this
again.
Is for our entertainment, dude. Like this isn't about you. This is about how it looks to us on the television. I want to see a 94 at a fucking 3 technique.
Yeah.
You know?
Or 72.
It's
72 look good.
It's penetrating.
But why are the O linemen the only ones that have been restricted? The O line is the only restricted numbers in college football. I mean, like, I get it.
I want a kicker to have to wear 98 because there's no fucking numbers left. Like, I agree.
Yeah.
I didn't know I was so passionate about this until 45 seconds ago.
The first guys that wore double numbers, you're like, whoa, it was like mid 2000s, early 2000s.
Announcer, it took the announcer.
And I think it was like Chad Jones, and it was like somewhere's around there.
That's a chip in the chat question.
Yeah.
And you're like, wait, he's playing offense now or vice versa? And then you're like, it was dumb. Like, who was it?
It was dumb.
Who are those?
But now
first
it's like,
guys?
that's fine.
Now
This-
it's accepted.
normalized.
it's normalized because like it means nothing. Like they take pictures in this uniform like before they even commit to the school.
Yeah.
Like the uniform on you means nothing to these people anymore. So they can duplicate numbers, whatever. I just want to be able to keep up with the fucking names. Like
From
name
transfers.
a number, quiz me.
12.
Name and number.
Like that's hard. Right now, I'm not good with this.
I
Like
couldn't-
I would have said, you know, the kid last year was a DB, J.K. Johnson or whatever.
yeah.
He was like 12 or something like that. But like every year it changes.
Oh,
You
the
have-
DBs, I've got
you need
no
to
To be
two
clue.
of them.
fair, for most of our life, the way we learned, well, I guess we didn't really have names for a time, but like NCAA is where you really get to know the names on the rosters and
Absolutely.
the numbers. So in 2 days, I'll get real deep into the
Look at this. You're not even to number 2 yet, and you took up a whole the whole screen's full, and we're still
Wait,
on number 1.
That, going back to the receivers real quick. Jesus.
Oh, that's funny.
Ashton Stamps has disappeared
But
All-
he's the highest ranked cornerback on the LSU's
because they look at last
NCAA
year or
football.
something. I'm sure Jordan Gilbert is also a stud.
Dude.
Like Halsey's not about to walk in and be our starting safety. I
Who you
bet,
got?
Receivers.
I
I was
bet
talking about
25 is
receivers.
a dog in the game.
Who's number 3 this year on offense?
Chris Hilton.
Hilton, yeah.
We have Chris Hilton healthy on the team this
Well,
year.
it's normally
For now.
right
I'm
around
just
the
saying,
time
like,
Chris
knock on
Hilton
wood.
is his healthiest.
But like, dude, the receivers.
No,
Yeah.
sending
Could
him
be-
to media.
Just
day.
give us
Yeah,
just
that's why I
one
said-
half against Clemson.
Seriously.
And then you can go home. You can go down for the year.
I think our having that dude in the offense just being, and I guess Barry and Brown can probably do this too,
Yeah.
but like
Oh,
literally
wow.
just let
I don't
Nuss
even know you, but he can do it.
close his eyes and throw it as far as he humanly can.
And Anderson is like, let's speak about both of them. You got Aaron Anderson, who is a possession guru. Like
When watching back all these games, Aaron, I was shocked
clutch.
at how much, like I thought I saw him way more often than I remembered. I was
Yeah.
like, oh shit, Aaron Anderson did this in this
Third
game
and
too.
22, give it to Anderson. Like he'll make the catch. He'll be
I
across
love
the
Anderson.
sticks. Like he's just a dependable target. He has games though where like
He
he
disappears.
gets in his head.
Oh,
like
yeah.
he'll drop a pass, then he can't catch another one until like the next game.
I want him to win the Heisman solely because of that bullshit Nick Saban talk after they beat us that year after he transferred. Like I want Aaron Anderson to have
He's
the
going to
key
do
the
well
city.
this year. He's going to do well. The other Anderson, Nick Anderson from Oklahoma, I feel like he fills the Kyron Lacey role of kind of your bigger receiver that's your go-to across the middle, can take the beatings, but can also, you know, when the space is given, really put on some big plays.
I
and
thought
have
you were
great
going to go
hands.
CJ Daniels there.
No, better than that kid. But Trey'Dez Green is the guy in this mix that I think we need to like get ready for.
It is weird because it's hard to.
And all you see about Trey'Dez Green is him just popping his dick around. That's it.
That's not where
And
I
his
was
laugh.
going.
His
Every
laugh.
video is just him with his hands in the air, just humping the air. And I'm like, what? That's it. That's all I know him as is the guy that catches touchdowns and air humps.
Yeah,
And the air hump dance has to go.
it does.
We have to move on from this. Go back to flossing or something.
It's weird because it's hard to say that LSU is going to get better tight end production than last year with Mason Taylor,
Bauer Sharp.
but Bauer Sharp is sniff. No,
What number is Bauer Sharp?
10?
but at the same time,
Didn't know that till just now.
I think
Who's
Trey
12?
Green is possibly like the biggest freak pro potential guy on the,
Yeah.
in the skill positions.
Kyle
100%.
Parker.
Kyle Parker, number
Kyle
12.
Parker.
Of course.
Jeez.
Like-
Jelani Watkins.
Was he always 12? Probably.
Yeah.
I think he was.
Who's the other 12?
Jamari Butler from Nebraska.
I always like a good, for quarterbacks, I admire a good double digit.
A 12, 14.
A,
Yeah,
a
I agree.
quarterback.
Quarterback.
I agree. Single digits flashing.
Yeah, like
you better,
nine-
you
I
better,
don't
Nine's
trust
terrible.
single digit.
you
Yeah.
better be a athletic
trust nine.
scrambler, Mike Vick
Can't trust.
type.
9's great. Listen, 9 is obviously nice, but like more often than not,
5 suck too.
I mean, you get a 16.
5, you got to be a fucking like speedster.
I agree.
We won Heisman's with the only two.
You can't have like
single-digit
Miles
quarterbacks.
Brennan dropping back into number 5.
Agree.
Yeah,
I'm with you. I am so
I
on board
trust
with this take.
a double digit.
I agree. My creative player guy will be 18. He'll be 12.
18 is like also though it's like the polar opposite of like you better be good as well.
Well, it's in the realm
Like
of
you
like
got to really pull that
I feel like
off.
12 is a good
you
quarterback
came in
number.
and there were
12.
6 quarterbacks in the program and you got the highest number that you could possibly have. Here's 18. And then you're like, well, I'm going to prove something.
I think 12 through 15 is like your meat of go-tos. I think 16 is kind of rare. 17 is kind of rare.
You got to go even. I think you got to go even.
Yeah, but 13's wild.
Yeah, but
Nussmeier.
yeah, but
Isn't that
like,
Dan
you know,
Marino's number?
But I get it. It's like it's Tua, it's Nuss.
Yeah.
It's dangerous.
dangerous. Yeah,
It's a
What
dangerous
about
number.
11's kind of a crazy.
Oh, we didn't even mention that.
yeah. 11.
11 is paralytic. That's like fake ID at the club.
He's coming in. He has a special package for
You
him.
know what was sick at 11 was like I feel like Brady James at middle backer
yes.
at 11.
That's
that
a great
was
linebacker number.
that was an
Yeah.
awesome number.
I like my linebackers in the 40s.
but you can throw in an 11.
Yes. But
Linebacker, you can kind of toss anything.
You have to be the alpha of the
Yes.
defense.
Yeah, you
so.
gotta
Like you can have a single digit linebacker make it work, but you got to be a dog. You
Yeah.
can't be a DJ Welter. And
I don't think
7 or
Whit Weeks.
6.
I think Whit Weeks is a 40 though. I don't
Yeah.
think he would in an 11. I feel like it wouldn't.
no, he
look
wouldn't
the
look
same.
right.
No, you're right. 40. He's a 40 because it's not supposed to happen.
The white guys, the white guys can't be single digits.
I cannot tell you how happy I am to get back in person. These are so much more fun.
Yeah, we found a little bit of a segment.
Dude, our D line numbers are out of control.
What are
It's
they?
disgusting.
Is there an 88 in there?
Hit us with some.
no, like okay, you have
You can't have an 88 on the D line.
well, you
That
obviously have
throws me.
no, we don't have a 0 on D line.
Sort it by D line.
Good call. We have 6. Patrick Payton.
Export
6.
to Excel real
Yeah,
quick.
let's pivot this real quick.
Where are we at? Offense. Now I'm all backwards. Okay, so we have Patrick Payton, Jamari Butler's 12, CJ Jackson.
Patrick Payton at
14.
6 is ballsy. You better be good.
If you're an edge rusher, lean, tall,
Yeah.
you can wear one of those.
You
Oh, dude, we
can.
do have an 88. We have an 88 at defensive end.
Carpenter.
Gooden. That's the cat from USF.
Yeah. I like an 80 something at defensive end.
I don't like
87.
88.
I like 87 and 89. We have a
84
99.
feels like the number.
Oh, Sadir Mitchell, 99. I like the biggest guy on the team. getting
Agreed.
99,
Agreed.
yeah.
A D tackle 99 is
There's no other
necessary.
option though for
Yes.
that.
Dude, all these D tackles are in the 90s. I do like that.
I
Looks like
respect
we got
that.
that back in order.
No, that's solid. That's ordered.
You cannot
Like somebody said
unless
that.
you have like the 500-pound dude. You just have to have
Dude,
a bully
literally.
number at the D
like you got to
tackle.
think Guillory told some of these freshmen like, no,
That's
sir.
not what we do.
No,
Here.
you're not number 10.
He's while he's in the hot tub, like, on the training table,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, that's exactly.
Dude,
what
literally, they're from 87's a walk on, and then it's 90 through 99. You do have a 53 in there and an 88, and then
53
these
is
other,
a rough number unless
and then
you're
the
a
defensive
dog
ends
center.
have like crazy
Yeah.
numbers.
You got to be a badass center to wear a 50s number on the O line.
I agree. What's Carpenter?
97.
Yeah, 100. Yeah,
I love a 22 at running back.
Cobbins.
22 is a good running back number. 24.
22 is
Yeah.
great.
You can get into 28s.
20s are great running back.
20s
I
are
agree.
great.
I do like
32
40,
is-
42 running back is so old school.
42
Michael
running
Ford.
back. Yeah, it's
Yeah, what
you got
Michael Ford? Is that
That's
that
a
Michael
Ford.
Ford?
That's a Michael Ford.
It's a throwback number to like when we were
I feel like there was
watching.
a Falcons running back at 42.
I know Emmitt Smith's number's not, but it
Yeah.
feels like a throwback to that era of like watching highlights of like a 42 running back.
Yeah, I feel like St. James and like all these high schools with like sick running backs sometimes.
They were never single digits.
They wear like a 40 sometimes. And it's like, this dude's
I remember-
elite. In college, he'll wear 5, but like he's rocking
32 and 34 was
37
like
right
cool.
now.
28 was cool. Those
It's-
even
It's-
numbers.
Even numbers hit.
Yeah.
Odd numbers are more for defense.
Loston in 6 was excellent.
I'm not down for a safety.
Safety and a singles for sure.
What
A
about
DB
one?
That's a That's a Jamar Chase. That's a receiver.
I
That's
agree.
got to be good.
You got to be scoring tutties.
Like you're the man to
We
wear
can't
one.
be a D. It has to be receiver over DB if you picked.
It doesn't have to be, but it would look better on an elite receiver than it would I don't know.
got to be a Tyrann Mathieu type defender to
I don't.
rock.
Yeah,
one.
it's fine.
You got to
It
be
just,
a game changer.
I think Eli Ricks screwed that for me.
It's fair.
You know, I just see selfish when I see one, and that works if you can pull off the touchdowns like Jamar Chase.
What number was Stink? 24.
I liked that. I like that.
It felt like he should have been maybe more of a different number. That was
He could have
that's
been in the
that's a little
singles.
traditional.
He did go to 7.
Yeah.
For a game. When did we have? How long did we have?
2
him?
games?
Yeah.
Our linebackers numbers are in order. Perkins is the only one.
He could wear whatever he wants.
You have the rest in 30s.
Yeah, I think
and
Perkins
40s.
would look cool in just about anything.
Perkins would be a great 40. He's done that.
How'd you feel about linebackers in the 50s? 50 numbers.
Old school.
It is more old school.
Jacob Catrera.
55 and 52.
Even though I think
feel
Catrera
were-
might have been 34, but
No, he was.
Was he
He was
52?
55. I think.
54, something like that.
I feel like we
think
just
he
don't
was.
see those.
Yeah,
numbers.
You don't,
54
you don't
maybe?
see much of
Those are for like
guys.
the third string, like
Whites.
Whites.
Yeah.
Whites.
That's your walk on from Brother Martin.
Yeah.
He's wearing 52. Linebacker.
Bauer Sharp.
Do we need to do a jersey?
What was that?
It wasn't me.
Sounded like a Teams call.
Yeah.
Wait, is
that working? We're checking.
We're checking our feed.
No better way to derail it.
Oh, they kicked us out.
Are we done?
We're
all
not
right.
live.
Are you screwing us?
No, I'm kidding.
Ruining it. So are we still recording?
Yeah, no, we're good. Y'all are just hearing things.
All right.
That's not
We
his name.
spoke too soon on a docile Grant episode. I will say that. Hey, you know what we have to do?
What?
We got to pick a golf team next week.
Oh shit. It's
The
next
Open
week?
Championship, I believe, is a
54.
weekend, like not this coming Saturday or weekend, but the next 17th.
Okay. Well, we won last time.
We did.
So
Grant doesn't even know that. We took down the best ball. Nice little couple $100 win.
sorry, man.
All right.
No congrats. Like,
we can go.
come on.
We can
You
go
be happy.
thirdsies next year.
I don't really know what you're talking about, but congrats.
Brett's in a league. I'm not even in the league. Brett's in the league.
I think I remember.
And
y'all
I
talking about it.
and I just helped him guide. We picked some players together for the
it
majors.
got lonely doing it by yourself and missing the cut and not ever making any money. So I asked Mike if he wanted to go halvesies on a team this year,
and we've
so we
been
could
terrible until last
atrocious,
last round,
like
last tournament.
dead. Most of the money,
like this past weekend.
no,
No,
it's all it's
only-
just
only
the
the
majors.
Yeah,
it's
only the
it's best ball for the majors. So you pick 4 guys under
Right.
a specific salary, and then it's just best ball.
Wait, do we need to? Everybody were talking about golf.
I did. Yeah, I
And-
mean,
Yeah, that's fine. I thought you said we were done.
if people haven't tuned
Yeah, we're
out
not done.
in the last 15 minutes of us just talking numbers,
yeah,
then
They're
they're
not here
here. They're ride or die.
or those guys are here for sure.
There are everydayers, as some other folks
Yeah.
like to say.
Long story short, only the majors count. It's a huge league, but we've really blown it a couple times. Just honestly, good picks, but just gone south. Bad breaks.
Will Zalatoris
So,
fucked
we
us.
got
Bryson fucked us. The one time Bryson doesn't show up, it was just a rough one.
U.S. Open winners.
Winner.
We picked the right 4.
Came down to we needed Tyrrell Hatton not to make birdie on
Yeah.
one of the holes, and then he hit it in the bunker like 4 times, and so that was a pretty
So-
big win.
We've been we're not tuned in every week to the PGA Tour.
I watched the
Yeah,
West Golf
I
now
haven't.
than I have in a long time.
So
Same.
so it's going off of like
Vibes,
vibes, Chat GPT,
Grok.
Gronk, and
Gronk.
then just like feel. Just
Yeah.
being like, what does this feel like?
And it
then-
finally worked for
and it
us.
worked.
Barely.
And we've got the British Open.
Yeah.
So
I think we go all Euros. I'm talking Bob McIntyre.
Hovland's got to be like 10 grand.
I'm talking yeah, I wouldn't be opposed.
Hovland was a good run for the US
I'm not
Open.
opposed to Hatton. I mean, I'm talking
Love Hatton, Lowry.
All the Lowry, I'm a little scared of.
I feel like this is his redemption.
Yeah,
US
he
Open,
shot
he
like
was just
15
gone.
over last time we watched him.
Yeah. Maybe this summer is just
he picked
not
up his
season.
ball without fucking marking it.
Yeah, he had enough of that course.
Yes. So what happens if the conditions are tough and he's 2 over? You know, I don't know.
Wait,
I'm just telling you.
The Scottish Open. You're talking about
The
this
Scottish
tournament?
Open's right now. Or like
We're
this
talking
coming
about
week.
the actual major, which is the Open.
The formerly known
In
as the British
2 weekends
Open.
from that. Like
yes,
it's
not this coming Sunday, but a week from Sunday will be the final day of the Open Championship.
So you may ask, like, why don't you just pick Scheffler every time? Like they're broken down by prices. You have a
I get
budget.
it.
So
I
you might be asking.
I understand. You get a budget.
No, you
and-
pulled up Scotty and you didn't move it.
Well, I was just looking at.
He's having internet issues. The Vexus is really not treating our boy right.
Woo!
No, I think I
don't
need
get me
to-
started on Vex.
I need an update.
I can't tell you how happy I was. First off, Mike puts in the group chat pretty much just bitching about Vexus, which I knew it someday was coming. I didn't know it'd be this soon,
huh?
but I knew deep down cable companies, that's just what they do.
Right.
They fuck you when you need their service. And it's like a day or two goes by and I just refresh Twitter and the first tweet on my For You page is Mike just like, has anyone ever fucking dealt with Vexus? And I just howled laughing in my desk by myself.
No one was talking about this.
It was so funny.
like I was searching. You finally showed me like the neighborhood screenshots. I was like, oh, I didn't even think about to ask neighbors, but like all of Mandeville was out of fiber, like out of Vexus connection.
It got cut.
Right, but like for the whole day, didn't get a fucking alert, didn't get a courtesy phone call.
Oh, they can't do that without the internet, Mike. But
It's just crazy.
it just made me, dude, that you had enough.
I
That
had
you were
enough.
like, I'm tweeting into the abyss
I Googled
for this
review.
very regional
Google
topic.
I rated it.
You made a TripAdvisor.
I did a
account
1
to-
star. It's like leave comment. I'm like, all right, here it goes.
Oh, good stuff.
But yeah, so we got a backup plan with Spectrum now. So
There you go. Are you dual internet it right now? Are you?
I haven't plugged it in, but the second it
But you're-
glitches on me,
But you're paying for dual services.
no, I haven't paid for Spectrum yet.
AT&T's gonna put some fiber down. You're gonna be 3 deep.
Yes, that's
The
probably
only
what's
the
gonna-
worst thing about if or when that ever happens is it's a shit show of a neighborhood when they start doing that.
It is, but I'm telling you, it's
Your
worth it.
your beautiful cut grass out there is no longer for like
Yeah,
6
but you're gonna have
months.
the fastest internet you've ever
Yeah.
fucking had, and it's never
are-
gonna go down.
perfectly
It
fine.
already is.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
It goes down
It go. You went down twice.
3 times.
One was user error.
It shouldn't have done that.
What's your download speed?
It was like 8 or right now.
No,
Go to
it's
speed
fast,
test.
it's
Go to
great.
speedtest.net. I want to see it. Grant hasn't opened the chat, but I know Gerald's just in there pumping up. He's so happy.
He
we're
said we
back.
hear.
Nice.
Okay.
Look at that speed.
Yeah, mine's 10x that. I get 1,000.
Why am I only at 90? What is this about?
It's like good internet in 2018.
All right.
Is your upload 96? I can't see that far. Does it say 92 down, 96 up?
I think we have to over and out this.
I know
Yeah, I
it's
think
on
we're
the
done.
screen. I can't fucking read that far.
No, over and out.
That?
Like, let's end the pod.
Okay. We're having 2 different conversations.
Over and out.
Are we done?
Let's
We're
talk
just-
about ball,
What ball?
football,
Lonzo? I'm down to
lawn
talk-
ball.
I'm down to talk ball. Nussmeier's in New York for the Heisman.
No, I need to get better internet speed,
It's
and I did.
fine.
I ordered it.
It's
I don't
fine.
have AT&T.
I'm not talking.
We don't
shit.
have access to that. We're in the
Grant
olden
came
days.
at me like it's great. I'm like it's not.
It-
No,
is.
he works for Vexus.
Yeah, I agree. I think you.
I
have-
felt like
Did
he
you
was
use
being
his-
insulted when I was complaining about Vexus.
I knew this
I
was
was
coming.
like, what are you worried about?
All I'm saying is you kept asking me, does this happen? I'm like, no, it never happens. I don't know what you
I never
can't
said
fix
that.
it.
I told you, when does this happen?
To go
Yeah,
back.
you were asking when it goes down. I was like, it literally never goes down. So I don't
never asked. I was like, are you out? That was the question. Are you out too?
Yeah.
That wasn't like,
No, but then
bullying
the
Vexus.
second time, no, when you were having your user errors, and I was like, no.
yeah, you're like, I'll
This-
fix it. I know how to do this.
I was
And it's
like, it's
you work
not-
for Vexus.
I was
Come
like,
fix
well,
it.
because no one else was out, including
Right.
your wife.
Yeah, your wife.
She was having fine service.
To backtrack this like 6 weeks.
But that was one of multiple occurrences of being
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, it went out.
Where
It got
everybody
cut.
was out.
Yeah,
and
I
you
get
would
it.
text me, you're like, are you all out too? Like you said it.
Because I was making sure it wasn't just me.
Right. It was
It was out. It was
everything
out. Yeah.
So the question of does this happen often is not bizarre.
No, I
Like-
didn't say it was bizarre. I'm just saying I told you it doesn't have it. Literally the only 2 times it's gone out in the last 12 months was since you've moved.
I know, but you're
Since
saying
you
I was like
know.
crazy for asking that.
No, it's
How
not
dare
crazy.
you? Like 6 weeks ago, Mike pops in the group chat, like, Vexus Internet, what's this? And I'm like, never heard of it. And Grant just immediately comes in. He's like, it's absolutely incredible. Nothing bad has ever happened. This is the best. I wish I would have wrote it down on a note and like time stamped it because I knew that this was going to happen. I didn't know it'd be
You took
this
it
quick.
personally. It's not nothing against you.
I know it's not against me.
It
I'm
was
just-
the best. It is
All I did,
still the
what I
best
didn't
option.
want to happen is you switch because I only hear bad things about all the other services.
Charter sucks.
Right.
Because no one else offers fiber in this neighborhood.
100%. I get it.
So
and
that's the only-
I've had Spectrum. I know it's spotty.
Yeah,
I know
that's
what I'm
my
gonna do
only
with it.
thing is you would end up dealing
But
with the
also,
same problem.
I'm gonna have people that will answer the phone. Like I've dealt with Spectrum where like they'll work with you. Vexus was trying to sell me Spectrum.
Yeah, I don't
Like
I
I
but
can't
see, I've
trust
never,
this shit.
I've
It's a
never
great
had to,
option.
I've
Yeah.
never had to call them.
Sir, my solution for you is that I can get you Spectrum 1 gig. Tomorrow morning would be the fast. I'm like, dude, I appreciate your solutions. I'm not trying to vet options yet. I can do that. What I'm trying to ask you is what's going on with my Wi-Fi? It's been out for 5 hours, sir. Are we going to get an update? Oh, let me find the best solution. I don't want a solution. I don't want Spectrum right now. Like that's the shit I'm talking about.
I
I don't
get it.
deal with that with Spectrum.
I get it. I've just never had to talk on the phone with any of them.
Because it's never gone
It's never
down.
It's
gone
never
bad.
been a problem.
But,
Never.
but I think it's happening more and more. Like, why is the payment portal through a third party now? Like, that's a new thing. Now there's all of a sudden these outages. I'm just saying it could be the beginning of the end.
It could be. It could be.
And that's not your fault.
What about
I know.
Starlink?
It's not your fault.
I know.
You ever thought about Starlink?
Yes. Someone did say that, but I thought it was a joke. I didn't know if it's legit. Like, can I do that?
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
you can. Starlink's
You-
available.
In
If you
this
like,
neighborhood?
no, you just
You just buy the. You just.
get a little satellite shipped to
You're,
you.
so the only thing is you're gonna pay a lot more. Like for like that service is probably you still get less.
I think it's $100
you-
a month, and
you-
the internet speed is about what you were getting there.
But this is slow right here because it's stretching across
Yeah.
your house.
See, we gotta run a line.
We've got a line.
But
it's
it's
just
still-
it's not
it's-
connecting to it unless we do it manually on my phone to the
We
Euro
can-
app.
We can.
This has got to be the internet hub right here. Mesh
The
system
fiber-
at minimum.
So I was gonna.
No, I've got the mesh.
We'll,
I've
when
got
we
the
get
mesh
off
system.
this,
The
when we
Euro's
get
got-
off this, I'll
we'll get
give
off.
you what I would say to do. But
I don't have fiber in here.
no, I know, but there's a way to do it.
How?
illegally.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll just
The old satellite cards. I used to have one of those. The DirecTV cards. All the channels.
Is that what you're talking about?
No,
Okay.
no.
Just
still
minor
recording. Are we good?
minor cosmetic changes to the house, Mike? Couple holes here, drop
Yeah.
line there,
That's fine.
put in a
I have Spectrum for right now as a backup, and I'm probably gonna crank it on over the weekend, test it out, and then cancel Vexus.
as a person with YouTube TV, you got to get this shit figured out.
Yeah.
I can't be promising to come over for some game if we're going to be Bruce buffering down there.
I'll get Vexus immediately.
We're potting too. We've got live.
I'll get Vexus immediately back on the phone. But if AT&T rolls in here and lays fiber,
Yeah,
I'll cut early.
you have to.
I'll be out of internet
Yeah,
just so that they'll
yeah.
come.
Yeah, it's worth it. I don't know. I'm good. I'm done. We did over an hour, I think. I had an enjoyable talk. We can keep going. Do you want to talk football? Anything we
No,
missed?
I'm kind of burnt out.
Lenore Sellers,
Oh, he's great.
great. Heisman.
He's spitting image of Dak Prescott.
I will say this to end it. Going back and watching the South Carolina game is fucking hysterical.
Why? It's probably miserable.
It's awful. And like Nussmeier's just running for his life. And Durham just like pops some big runs and we beat them. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
We cheated.
It's like knowing
Durham's
the
gonna
outcome.
be
It's a
With a
miserable.
healed foot, I can't wait to watch Durham.
It's a miserably hilarious watch because you're just like, we are getting blown up on every play.
Mm.
And then we just somehow like pull that game out. It's great.
Yeah. Well, we have him at home this year.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it. I wouldn't worry about it.
Not yet.
I'm not
We
worried
have
about
plenty
it.
of time for that.
120 a month for Starlink. I told you Gerald was still in here grinding.
We here.
Well, then the speeds have to be better. They can't be the same as this.
I think it's similar.
So what's the benefit of it again?
You can have internet anywhere.
Oh, okay. Right.
Like a lot of people do it for like
Oh,
camping and stuff.
for
but like
Starlink?
you can
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
It's got to be up.
It's like an unlimited
so
range.
Basically, what you're buying is like a device like this.
Yeah.
And you just put that on your roof and run a wire into your house into a router.
Mm-hmm.
And your Wi-Fi is no
You're
longer
getting-
coming from the ground; it's coming from the sky.
you're getting the internet signals from their satellites that are
Yeah.
But
so
it's
you could
not-
go camping.
but it's
Yeah.
not. It's still not. It's definitely not as fast speeds. I guess it'd be reliable no matter the weather, as long as you don't have trees in the way.
to an extent, yes.
Where do you get this info?
He knows a
about
guy
it.
that works.
You have like
in
an MSN coverage
satellites.
So
every morning?
father-in-law is very into
Oh, satellite.
Wi-Fi's and satellites and all these things.
Then we got to cut the pod and talk business.
I think that's Brett's wheelhouse too.
Unfortunately, it is.
Well,
He's
we'll be broadcasting some pods through Starlink soon then.
He's a ham radio guy.
I love that.
Nice.
All right, over and out.
Yeah, I think we're done for the day. Over and out.
Cross the street from your storefront cemetery. Hear me hailing from inside and realize I